Hey! Teacher! Leave those kids alone!
You didn't even say anything.
All in all, there's another brick in the wall.
You're just another brick in the wall.
All right.
All
retake.
in all, you're just another
in
brick
all,
in the
you're just
wall.
Another brick in the wall. Yeah,
Yeah, that was our attempt at another brick of the wall, people.
that's terrible.
You
I feel like
just
I'm the
tuned
only
in.
one that's screaming.
That was
I was
kind.
like,
That was
just-
kind of the plan.
You just stared.
I know that was the plan.
It's like a
We're
deer.
just staring.
He wants to make fools out of us.
Not even. It just makes good. I just
F.
makes for
You
good.
get an F.
You're just another
Dick in the wall.
room.
Ew.
Wait, that's a glory hole.
Yeah, it's a glory hole.
What the fuck?
Well, that is not this episode.
How is this
Wow. See, people think that it's Miss Moist that derails episodes, but in reality, it's really you.
No, it's not.
It's you.
How? How is it? You know what?
No, it's not.
Another
It is.
dick in the wall.
It
Oh,
is.
what the
We
fuck is
both
wrong
said
with you?
we both said dick, and it's my birthday week, so you have to be nice.
Okay, yeah. Well,
You're the dick in the room.
Yeah.
yeah, for real.
and your microphone just went flaccid.
Oh.
Ouch.
Beep beep.
All right. Well, this show's already gone too far enough. All right. Well, so
That's it, folks.
yeah, that's
Bye.
it. That's
Four-
that's our show
Four
for
snaps,
tonight.
4 Z's. We're done.
That's it.
I'm not
Uh,
moist.
Oh man.
God, dries bad over there. All right.
Oh, what?
Okay, so next week, a few announcement. It as Elysa said, it's her birthday. Well, not this week, but next week is her birthday, and so she won't be joining us. She is leaving us. The bitch. I can't believe this.
For
I'm
my
pissed.
birthday, just for a couple days.
No, I cannot accept this. We're gonna have to tie you down and handcuff you to the chair.
Wow.
Because I do not want to go through another
sounds
week without another show.
Well, we do have something. We do have something available for next week.
Yeah, we do have we did record a review, our in-depth review on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which will be out next week.
So there you go.
We actually had a lot of fun talking about that movie.
Yeah.
I think we both agreed
We both
that
rated it the same and agreed on it. Yeah.
I think we both agreed that it was Tarantino's best film.
Which is a shocker because you and I never agree on things. So
Yeah, hardly. And so that will be our bonus episode for next week. And then the week after that, we're going to kick off the end of summer. But today, want to say rest in peace to Easy Rider himself, Peter Fonda.
Did you
R.I.P..
were you a fan of him?
I'll be honest, I wasn't too familiar with him early on. I was familiar with him in Easy Rider and then in Boondock Saints 2.
I loved him. I thought he was like such a cool independent filmmaker. You know, like he was one of the generations that with Dennis Hopper and everybody that like did their own thing. You know, yeah, he had a famous dad and stuff, but he was kind of like the hippie that just did his own films. And he had some crazy films like The Trip. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Nah.
That was a great trippy ass movie.
Which is also a kind of good segue to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because
Yeah.
it's guys like Peter Fonda that
Yeah.
put Rick Dalton, out to pasture.
That's true.
You know
That
what
is
I mean?
true. I didn't think
It's
of
guys
that.
like, Peter Fonda, Kirk Douglas, and all them.
Yeah.
It's those guys that put Rick Dalton out of business. So,
Yeah.
rest in peace to Peter Fonda. We lost a movie legend
Yeah.
earlier this week. So, that sucks.
I feel like we're losing someone every week recently.
Oh, it's natural, of course, they're
I
getting
know.
old. So, it's
All
just-
the greats are getting old. It's really sad.
Yeah, but I have no easy way to segue into this, so I'm just gonna go into it. Kane Hodder actually came out and said he had an idea for a new Friday the 13th movie.
Oh, really? What? Share with the class.
So according to Bloody Disgusting, he has an idea, and this is what he would like to see. Let's see. In a chat with comicbook.com, Horror Legend was asked what he would like to see in the next installment. I just think that when you do a 13th one, it certainly couldn't hurt to bring me back as Jason.
Wow. Of course, that's gonna be his like
That's
intro.
awesome.
Harry's.
Yeah.
Unless it's in 20 years, maybe.
Uh,
Hodder told the site, but it certainly couldn't hurt the success of the movie, which I think is true.
Oh yeah.
I don't think having the only person that's played the role more than once to come back for the final one, I think that part would be interesting. And you know what? he should have been in Freddy versus Jason.
You know, he should
that
have.
was fucking bullshit.
And
I refuse to watch that fucking movie since. Even though I have it, I will not watch it because of Kane Hodder.
When I first saw it in theaters, I didn't know that wasn't him. And then after finding that out, like shortly after, I'm like, wait, that wasn't Kane Hodder. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like, that's such a disappointment.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So they should bring. I mean, did you hear that he said he wanted to play Michael Myers as well? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. Sorry, can't see it.
Okay, we're gonna touch on that a little later.
All right.
Hodder continued, but I'd like to see if, in fact, they say this is the final one. I'd like to see some of the characters that survive come back, like Feldman's character, Tommy Jarvis.
Interesting.
And somehow written into the story why they're back. It could be an interesting storyline, having people that survive Jason come back. Ooh, I remember that girl, or I remember that guy from previous movies that never got killed. I think it could be an interesting storyline. So many Lifetime horror fans that have watched every Friday movie, I think it'd be fun for them to see faces they recognize. The actor stuntman added, I really think it'd be an interesting way to bring the horror fans some kind of closure with this series, to have me come back one more time and the people that survive. I would honestly like to see that. But I don't want to see Corey Feldman.
Okay.
I want to see Tom Matthews as Tommy Jarvis. Because to me, that is fucking Tommy Jarvis. I don't care what anyone says. That's Tommy Jarvis.
Well, you know, it'd be cool. Reggie would be cool to bring back too.
Reggie would be awesome, but he was in His Name Was Jason documentary.
Yeah.
And they said they wanted to bring him back for the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was part 6. And he's like, nah, dude. You're not going to get me this time. Nah, I'm the black dude. You're not gonna kill me.
Which is why they should bring him back now, you know?
I think he would be really interesting. I would love to see him.
Like, he won't be the token black guy. He could be like the survivor.
Yeah,
you know?
and I would love to see Lark Park Lincoln
Oh,
with
yeah.
her carry powers.
That would be really cool. We haven't really had like a telekinesis movie recently, you know? Thelma, but that wasn't. I don't know.
I don't think that's horror. Well, I mean, I guess it is.
It tried to be, but that's another subject. But yeah, that'd be cool to see.
I would fucking die. I would kill to see that movie. That movie sounds fucking interesting. And with Kane Hodder at the helm, I think that could be potentially a good movie. But unfortunately, what's hindering this movie is the lawsuit between,
which is still happening,
Victor Silva and Sean Cunningham.
Why is it taking so long?
They had.
It's taking like forever.
So Victor Silva won his appeal.
Yeah.
And then fucking Sean Cunningham goes back and countersues him.
So this is just going to take this is a clusterfuck of a lawsuit. And it's just going to take years.
It's going to take years before we see another Friday movie.
Speaking of, I have a little segue.
Okay.
Speaking of Friday the 13th, I was on the list to go to the New Jersey Camp Crystal Lake where they shot it. Because you had to be on the list in your email, and I got selected. But I was like, it's really expensive, and I can't like take time to go there right now. My friend Noah, who's like a huge horror fan, huge Friday the 13th fan, he's going. So I told him, I was like, dude, you got to take a lot. He's like, do you want anything signed? And I was like, no, just take like lots of pictures and like let me know how it goes. So like there's going to be cast members there. You get to walk and everything. And it's like this big old thing. And that's September 13th, which is Friday the 13th. That sold out. So I think he's going to the one on September 14th.
That bastard.
So, I know, right? Well,
What's that you're doing?
I forget, but you'd have to pay for like airline tickets, hotel. But he lives in Boston, so he's closer. So that's
you can literally drive like what, 6 hours?
Yeah,
8 hours?
He's like super close to it. So I'm like, but I hope he has a good time because it's his birthday's coming up too. But yeah, I'm super jealous. Super jealous.
So that was my film news for the week. I thought that was interesting when I read that. I was like, oh man, I really want to start the show off with that.
When they announced that just now.
Well, no, that's just an idea that he had.
Right, but did they just like have it on Bloody Disgusting or something?
Oh yeah, they put it on Bloody Disgusting earlier this week. So.
Oh okay.
But yeah, other than that, that's it. We both saw a movie that had a great fucking premise, and yet
cue the sigh.
Not good.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave you in suspense.
We're talking about Extremity, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Extremity.
Yeah. Like the way it was shot and the whole setup was really cool. But I like the thing about it that I liked was that we've seen so many movies where the killer is an actor inside these like haunted houses, or like, like these experiences. It's always someone there, that's someone that snuck in. But the premise, having it be like someone that's attending, that was a cool idea. But the whole like molestation thing, it just, they did it too much, way too much in your face, and it was just like so uncomfortable. And like, I was like, that's really like, that's the story they're gonna go with here. It just made me, I don't know, made me uncomfortable.
I think the story, I mean,
and then having like her dad, I don't know,
having her dad being part of the haunt, that was
It's just weird.
Yeah, right.
Like, how the fuck did he find him in the first place?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, is this guy really that connected? Like, what the fuck? Like, seriously?
I know.
Like, there's a lot of leaps and bounds in logic, and I mean, I know I just said that coming from me, but I'm a guy in horror, like, that watches horror movies that can take those leaps. I can. Like, I don't have to. I don't have to, understand why.
Fill in the blanks.
I don't have to know why, you know what I mean, or how, or anything like that. I don't. To me, that's not what horror is.
Right.
Horror is something that's really just, it's supernatural. It's supposed to be unexplainable. That's what makes it so good. But
realistic.
Yeah, too. Even in reality, there's things that just can't be explained.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But this movie is trying to be so hard to be grounded that you have these jump the shark moments throughout the movie. It's like, that doesn't work right there. Like, I'm sorry. That probably should have been someone else. And her turn toward the end, I liked. I just thought it came at a point where the movie already kind of just like bogged down.
Fizzled out a little bit. And
her turn been the whole entire time, I think it would have been interesting.
And if she like killed people off inside, like, and then I also think the owner, he took his mask off way too soon and gave an explanation too soon. He should have kept going with it to really push her buttons.
They should have kept him more as a figure.
Yeah, exactly.
They should have kept him as a figure, and then you realize, oh, this guy's a dirtbag.
Because he was so mysterious in the beginning. Like, this guy's so mysterious. Because every time you have a mask on, you're mysterious.
Like, he knows things about her, and it's just like, man, that's pretty cool.
And he picked her for a reason,
And he takes off his fucking mask, and it's like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
That's bullshit. And then when they try to kill her at the end, and then they realize, oh wait, this is not Blanks. Whoops.
That was supposed to be a fake gun.
And then they find out, like, oh, no, yep, he fucked him.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. I honestly thought this could have been, like, a really good movie.
It could have. It had the potential.
It had a really great premise, much like, I don't know if you've seen Hell House or The Houses October Built.
All of them, yeah.
So, like,
those were good.
Yeah.
Those were really good, and those actually had really good premise. I mean, the houses October Built 2.
Yeah,
you can kind of.
Yeah, but the first one was really. I like the first one a lot.
You know what made that so good? Because you didn't know what was going on.
Exactly, and I'm excited for the new one that's coming out, or the Hell House.
Hell House 3. Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Did you see the little teaser for that?
Yeah. That's gonna be good.
Hell House 2?
I
thought it was for a sequel. Usually I hate sequels.
I thought it was decent,
but I thought it was okay. The first one was good.
I still think I'm still a fan of the both those films. The first one was like a lot better.
I think when that third one comes out, we should do a review on all three.
Yeah.
I would like to binge watch all three of those and then come
when's
back.
the new one coming out?
I think it comes out in October.
Oh, perfect. So we could that goes into like the
haunts,
the Halloween and haunts theme.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like this movie took those kind of premises and kind of made it more about her, but
and her background.
Her turn toward the end, it just, I don't know. I can't put my finger on why her turn just didn't work for me.
I agree with you.
I feel like
it felt off.
She should have went.
Acting was bad. The acting wasn't that great either.
Yeah, Miss Moyes did not appreciate the acting at all. She was like, "Oh my god, it's terrible."
It got like a lot of people liked it though.
A lot of people did like it, and I could see why they liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I could totally see why they liked it. I just don't think that it was mysterious enough, and
yeah, I agree.
I honestly believe that they had such a good premise, they just dropped the ball on.
Yeah,
I felt like how she went in there, not to face her fears, but to
like take out her aggressions and
take
her
out her aggression.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of the thing you kind of got from her talk with her therapist.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she has aggression that she wants to take out on someone.
Yeah.
And I feel like had they just leaned into that concept a little bit more, I felt like that would have been much better.
It definitely
Because
had
she
a better
would have
payoff.
went in there,
Yeah.
she would have enjoyed that pain, and then they wouldn't have known what to do with her.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been an interesting movie.
Yeah. Maybe they can remake this in 10 years or,
We'll see. But he is doing a sequel to Last Shift, so we'll see.
I liked Last Shift.
Last Shift was a really good movie.
That was a good movie. It was creepy.
And have you seen anything else?
I can't talk about the one I recently saw because it's
Okay. Anything else?
because of certain things. Yes, I binge watched second season of Mindhunter. I don't know if you guys are Mindhunter fans.
Watching that.
The first season or second?
First season.
First season.
Okay.
I think we just started the pilot.
The pilot. The case that they talk about in this one, I didn't know that happened. So, in this one, they talk about the African American children, over 20 or 23 African American children in Atlanta that were murdered. I didn't hear about this.
Yeah,
Like,
Atlanta's children.
yeah. So that's who that's who kind of like their focus is. In the new season, they don't really go, and I kind of like the first season more. It had its faults, but you actually go to different serial killers and interview them, which is such a cool like idea. This one, they don't do that as much. They do Manson for one episode though. And it's the same guy.
Same
And
guy.
Once Upon a Time, which I told
Hollywood.
you. And that's kind of it. I mean, they do a couple of others, but that's not their focus. They try to help the moms because the moms aren't getting any justice. I don't want to give it away. I mean, you could look up the real history of what happened, but it's
I don't think they ever caught the killer.
no. They just reopened the case though, I think this year. So it's really sad. It's really tragic. So, but that I liked that, and I guess we have to wait another 2 years for a third season because this took like 2 years to wait.
Was it 2 years?
Yeah, and I don't think David Fincher was as involved with this season.
I think he was off filming the movie.
Because he did the first season, and the music was really good in the first season. They used like talking heads and stuff, which is fun. But yeah, let me know what you think because I'm curious.
Yeah, I wasn't in love with the pilot, so
Just keep watching it.
Either.
When they get to Ed Kemper, the guy that plays Ed Kemper nails
that's
it.
The thing is the actors that do the serial killers.
Yeah, they're like on point.
They're dead on, unintended.
And I have I think I told you about the cast,
the way
like
they look,
the way they look and everything is like to the
Yeah.
bone. But the guy that plays not Holt, what's his last name? Holt. I can never remember
the
his
big
last name.
dude.
Bill. I like him a lot.
Colt
the guy,
McCallaghan?
yeah, I love him. The guy that plays the other guy, I just thought that was a little miscasted. I don't know why. I just something about him didn't strike me as that kind of person. But anyways, so
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah,
When I first watched the pilot, I was not in love with the character.
yeah.
Which one are you talking about?
The lead?
the skinny one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His acting was weird.
It is, and it's like that.
thing.
It's like that
His
during the whole
acting-
season and the second season
It was
too.
really kind of it was flat or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
But-
It's just really odd.
But Bill's good. I like Bill a lot. He actually had to gain 25 pounds to play that role because he's normally a fit guy. And
Yeah, he's a
everyone,
big dude.
no one knows that he was in Creepshow too as a
Yeah,
Native American guy.
He was the dude with the long hair.
Yeah, I'm going to
I'm
Hollywood.
going to Hollywood,
I'm gonna be a
big
star. Oh my god,
With
he's
his
actually
luscious
hot.
hair, oh.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck?
I can't believe that was him. That's insane.
Yeah, I was like, dude, this guy made his bones a creep show too.
I
Come
know.
on, dude.
I know.
People forget about that.
Yeah.
So
So that's all I binge watched over the weekend, and then of course what we're gonna talk about today.
and so, which leads us to
These keep falling out.
fucking school. So, Lisa, I'm asking you a question. Do you have
Uh-oh.
school spirit?
Fuck no. Fuck school. Eat my ass, school. No, I'm just kidding.
I fucking hated school.
I loved college. I hated
High school?
High school and middle school I freaking hated.
I just hated school in general.
Yeah.
I think the only good thing I remember about school is when my mom used to take me to Burger King and get me French toast, and we would listen to Prince on the way to school.
Nice. And then after that it was all downhill.
Yeah, after that I was just like,
Yeah.
but yeah, neither of us have school spirit, and this fucking movie had no school spirit at all. Actually, no, it had a school, but it had no spirit.
Yeah. Of course we're talking about School Spirit,
Yeah,
the new Into the Dark for Blumhouse on Hulu.
Yeah, and so this movie or episode,
Yeah.
I don't know. So overall thoughts.
So this also could have had potential, because like it was kind of like a Breakfast Club, but slash. And I will say this was probably the most horror themed out of all of them because it is a slasher, but it just fell flat, and they didn't really show the killer's look was really cool. Like the mask was really interesting. I wish they you and I were talking, we wish it was the urban legend instead of an actual like person.
Yeah.
Because I think
spoiler.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
If they went that route, it would have been a little.
But then again, it's kind of
serious.
fucking obvious.
This film is very obvious who it is.
Super obvious.
Right off the bat. Like I was like, oh, okay.
I honestly thought when I watched this, I thought this was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get to that second half, it's like,
it just drags.
Man, this is terrible. Like I wish this was a little bit better.
And they needed a higher body count.
The body count didn't bother me. I think what bothered me was that I didn't like any of the students.
Yeah.
For one.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't like our hero.
Yeah.
She was a fucking bitch.
Especially at the end, but don't give it away.
Yeah, especially at the end. I hated her. I honestly think this movie episode would have been better had it been the urban legend that they were talking about, and had it been a little bit more supernatural.
Definitely agree. It just, it's something to watch.
But then again, it's like a middle, run by the numbers revenge movie.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What's their next one? Have they announced
I think the next one is the season finale, and I think it's Labor Day.
Oh, okay.
And it's something about white clothes or some shit like that.
Oh.
Not wearing white.
Don't wear white after Labor Day.
Day.
I always think of Serial Mom when I hear that. But yeah, it just fell flat. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it was just very, like, you knew what was coming and you knew who it was. There were really no surprises for me.
Yeah, I really wish this was a little bit more supernatural. This could have been so much fucking better.
Yeah.
Had it been that way. I think... but one thing that they do that I kind of appreciate is that they kind of go against the final girl rule.
They do, yeah.
And, she is not as pure.
Right.
Or as innocent as she lets on to be.
Yeah.
She turns out to be a fucking shitbag, too.
A shitbag.
And, and at the end, God damn. Like, seriously, the ending, I swear, that is what really pissed me off, too, I feel like.
But if they made her, like, a good final girl, wouldn't you have been like, okay, that's it? Like, they kind of, it did make it different, I guess.
Well, I mean, had her scandal still been there, and she still would have been innocent, but then she came out and said all this and owned up to it.
Yeah.
I feel like, oh, yeah, that would have been worth it.
But even that's more predictable, though, and it's the formula.
Yeah, I guess so, but... just that right there just kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It's like, oh, you fucking bitch. Like, they weren't your friends? The fuck out of here with that. I'm sorry. It's kind
of like those social media influencers, though. Like, everything's a facade. Everything's fake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
School Spirit. It was all right. Where do you rank this among the ones you've seen?
Low, I guess. I liked the body.
I think I still think the body's really good.
The body and I'm Just Fucking With You. Those were like probably my two. I
still need
faves.
to see that one
because that one's like hilarious.
I need to watch that one. Whoa. So to me, it would be the body, Puka.
Didn't care for Puka.
I like Puka. It was just it was like a wonderful life with a Twilight Zone twist.
I like
That's what I loved about that movie. I thought that was really good.
It didn't hold my interest, but I like New Year, New Me or New Year, New You, which.
Yeah.
That one was okay. Treehouse didn't really care for. Down didn't care for.
I fucking hated that movie. that fucking one was terrible.
The Thanksgiving one, it had such an interesting premise, but they could have pushed it further, I think. She was the daughter being agoraphobic.
Yeah, I think we talked about that too. I was like, there was some interesting things in there, and it just needed to go a little bit further.
It did, yeah.
But his portrayal as a serial killer was like dead on.
Yeah, the acting was good. It needed more. Yeah. I don't know what that more is, but it needed.
I think
something.
I think what it needed was to flesh out the characters. That's what it needed. I think this one will kind of rank low for me too.
Which sucks because it is like a slasher, But
not all slashers are good.
I know that's true. That's true.
Not all slashers are good.
That's true.
But I don't have any school spirit.
We don't got school spirit. How about you?
How about you? Well, guess what, Elysa?
What?
It is the first week of school.
Yes, go back to school.
And-
Shits.
And everyone is going back to school wearing their Sunday best, and we
Sunday
went.
best.
Shut up. And then we went to
Sunday school.
On Sunday.
we went to Target, and then everyone was shopping.
Oh my god, I went there
For
last week and
school.
it was insane. Everything was like all misplaced and kids and binders and I'm like, what is
There's like
going
fucking
on?
notepads in the electronics section. It's like, what the fuck is this?
It was savagery. It was like, I need
Like,
to
I'm
get
not-
out of here.
I'm not gonna pay $60 for a notepad. The
I know.
fuck?
And I'm like, I just want Target to get rid of their school stuff and have their Halloween stuff. So
Yeah, so you know what that means, right?
Yeah.
School's back in session. That was
Is there
good.
some feedback on the mic? Oh, that's just you.
Shut up. Get out. You know, school's back in session, and
he just broke glass.
Dun, 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 dun. Stone Cold reference.
Wow.
So I always
Hey,
have
you had to go there.
I had to, wrestling reference. You
had
know
to.
me. You know me. So with school back in being in session, Elysa and I had the idea of looking at horror movies that take place in schools. Particularly first days of school. I could not fucking find a fucking movie that had the first day of school in it.
Yeah.
It's either the end of school or in the middle of school. So
There's a lot of like end of school movies or like summer, but this one was hard to find. But the ones I picked are definitely in school, and there's kind of a theme with mine. They're all in high school.
there's kind of a theme with mine too.
Okay, what's your theme?
So, before we get to our themes,
Okay.
what was the process like for you to get these movies? Like, what did you already know what movies you were going to go
Yeah.
with, or did you have to like scrounge like me and look for these fucking movies?
I knew 2 of them for sure that I was gonna do, but the third one I was like, could this count? And I think I even asked you, I'm like, does this count as a school
So
horror
did you
movie?
go with that one?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I don't know if I talked about that one before on here.
No.
I feel like I did. No.
We mentioned it in passing
Okay.
in our 90s episode, but we didn't go in depth in it.
Okay.
But I do think that's a movie we really need to go into, though.
We do.
Because
And
I really did like that movie.
I do too.
I remember Brittany Murphy being blonde in that movie, though, for some reason.
Dark hair. She had a cool haircut. She had bangs and a bob. It was such a cool look.
You never heard of the Mandela effect?
Yeah.
I swear to God, I seen that movie when she had blonde hair.
But even the cover has her face with her dark hair on it. The boyfriend's blonde though. The cutie, he's blonde. But
I could have sworn I seen this movie back when it came out in VHS, and I swear to God that she had blonde hair.
no, must have been something else. Are you thinking of the other one she was in? Don't Say a Word with Michael Douglas.
No, it wasn't that movie.
Oh, okay.
I know it was this one because Michael Biehn was all being creepy with her. So
And it's her dad.
yeah, and the sheriff on top of that.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I don't know, but
We're gonna
we'll
talk
get
about
into that. Yeah.
But so your process.
My process, like, it was fun because these are movies I saw when I was in middle school. Or no, elementary school and middle school. So these are all high school movies, but I was like really young, and my mom took me to see 2 of them in theater because one of them wasn't released in theaters. So I saw these as a kid in the theater, and these were ones I really liked. Knowing now about information about them, it's like, oh man, I wish they went this route. But I'll discuss that.
Okay.
But that was my process, and I liked rewatching these. They just brought back like fun memories of me as a kid, like watching R-rated movies in a theater. So that was my process. What about you?
You know, I try to look at movies that dealt with school and school themes and stuff. And I remember telling you, like, I wanted to do movies that actually had the school as a character.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them that take place during school, but a majority of them don't really take place in school.
Yeah, they're like outside or when school's done or something.
Yeah, they're like in the neighborhood or stuff like that, and then school's in the background and stuff. So it took.
Watch Twilight.
I love
I know,
Twilight.
right?
I was thinking about that actually, but I'm like, nah, he'd kill me.
Like, I
He would
canceled the
kill me.
show
Yeah.
for that.
I'm the
But
only
after
Twilight
hearing
one.
what happened to Catherine Hardwicke, was kind of like, oh shit, made me look at that franchise a little differently now.
Oh, because of like her view or her.
No, so they kind of fired her for the sequels and let men directed it. And she's actually on the Eli Roth podcast, Masters of Horror, and she was talking about, they brought in men because they thought men could do big action spectacles and shit like that, and they didn't think a
Wow.
woman could do it. And if you notice, because she even brought it up, like, and she said, if you notice, you see the films, they start getting glossier and glossier and glossier. When you watch the first one,
it's very
like,
different.
It's very different. It's very moody,
different.
very emotional, and she's all like, had I done this, it would have been different, and it would have been so much moodier, and I would have made it not a spectacle, but I would have made it interesting. I'm paraphrasing her words there, but I'm saying, like, you know what?
Did you see the sequels?
No, I didn't see any of them. But,
really?
No,
we should do an episode on it.
No, no. But after hearing that though, that kind of like disheartened me. It's like, oh fuck, that's fucked up. Like they brought like someone else in to take, because she was promised to do two more,
yeah,
and she didn't even get to do those. And I'm like, fuck, that sucks.
I feel like she gets screwed over a lot. She just did the pilot for the Lost Boys on CW, and they're totally redoing it.
It's because the cast.
Is it? It's
the cast.
So
it's
is
not
she
her.
Gonna be
it's
doing...
not her.
Okay, good.
The cast fucking sucked.
They need
According to
it.
reports on several sites, it was the cast that
I hope they do bring her on
like,
then.
oh man, that's just bad.
Yeah.
Because that's just one of those things. But, back to my process, it's like I had to find movies that had school as a character or, somehow integral to the plot.
Or at least the school's in it for more than 2 seconds.
Yeah, and there was a lot more, people.
Yeah.
I looked up movies and, Scream was on there. I Know What You Did Last Summer was on there.
But see, I don't count those as like.
But see, I Know What You Did Last Summer was
the second is
the end of school.
Yeah, exactly. It's July 4th. It's not in school. It's July 4th.
You get the sense so because they graduated, so that's why.
Yeah, but there's not that you don't see him in a school though.
Yeah, no, but that's one of those movies that's on those school lists.
I saw that. Yeah, and I'm like,
that doesn't work. I'm sorry. And then
Scream, I mean, there are scenes in the school, but it's more at the house.
Yeah, and I just think that just doesn't work for me.
And to me, I count that more as like the end of school and like kind of summer, because you even hear Alice Cooper's "School's Out."
Yeah, you think that's the last day of school,
right?
But I don't think it's the last day of school. I just think that's just the last day of that week.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So I had to find movies, and I found one movie by accident, and then it kind of gave me the idea of my theme, and my theme is summer night and the first day of school. Which
one is this?
So
you want to go first then?
No. So that's my theme. So it goes on to different types of schools, but it all comes back to that first day of school.
Okay.
So that was my.
That's like your
theme.
Timeline.
Yeah, that's my timeline. So it goes there, and then it goes to that first day of school, and then it's like, oh, that works.
Okay.
Because while other people are living the summer, there's still people going to summer school.
Oh yeah. And some people have year-round school. And they have different schedules.
Also, you have night school where people need to go and make out credits.
Yeah,
stuff like that, or college. It's college school. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So that's my theme, and my theme is school year-round.
Okay.
You?
Mine is campy, and doesn't take itself seriously, and high school.
Yours is already garbage.
Mine's fun.
Garbage.
Mine are fun.
Fucking garbage.
Mine are super fun.
No, mine's better.
You always say that. Every week you say that.
My shit's better.
Well, if yours is better, why don't you go first?
No, you go first.
You go first.
You go first.
No, you go.
You go.
No, you go.
You go.
You go.
Go, ladies first.
Okay. Let's see here.
You guys are like Jimi Hendrix and the Who. Remember that?
Oh.
Where they fought over who would go first.
No, you
on
go.
Stage.
Yeah, follow that bitch.
I'm thinking of Portlandia, where they're like in their car and they're at a stop. No, you go. Now you go. You go. Now you go. It's really funny.
That's why he wrecked his guitar and why Jimi Hendrix set his on fire.
Yeah.
Jeez, really? Wow.
That was Monterey Pop.
Monterey Pop Festival.
The Who just fucking demolished the stage. And then
Man,
Roger Townsend goes next to Jimmy and says, follow that. He's like, yeah, man, yeah.
Ego.
And then he goes and he starts playing, and then he sets his fucking guitar on fire. Like,
I wish I could have seen that in person.
That would have been legit.
That would have been awesome. You don't see that anymore, Shows aren't
No,
crazy.
now you just get pissed on.
Ew.
Shit on.
Yeah, you go to one of those concerts
That's
now.
Gigi Allen. Gigi Allen's so gross.
There's a documentary on that.
Yeah. Ew.
I would go to a Slipknot show.
They're scary. Their masks are scary.
It's not even scary. It's just like, oh, man.
I don't want shit thrown on
Yeah,
you
that's
from the drummer.
not sanitary. No thanks. Nope.
I'll pass on that.
Motherfuckers don't even take showers after that.
Or Rammstein, they do like the fire and shit, like the
Oh, yeah.
pyros. All right,
Insane.
segueing here. All right, so mine are not in order. These are just take it as it is. So the first one I'll talk about is one that no one really talks about anymore.
Because it's garbage.
No, you don't even know which one it is. Shut up. It's Disturbing Behavior.
Garbage.
1998.
Fucking told you it's garbage.
Have you seen this film?
Yeah, I used to have it.
Used to. What happened?
So when we moved, remember how I told them when we moved, a lot of my shit
lost all your
moved?
yeah.
This is one of those movies that got lost in the shuffle.
I've lost so many movies because I've moved for like so many times, but I do want to get this one again. So Disturbing Behavior came out in 1998. It's about a family that moves to like a new picturesque town. I believe it was shot like in Vancouver. So they're coming like on the ferry and they're coming to like this like really nice new town. But some of the teenagers are a little too perfect and a little too crazy perfect. So
It's like fucking Pleasantville.
it is
on
like
drugs.
it's like Pleasantville and Stepford Wives. This is like Stepford Wives for high school students. So the new kid played by James Marsden.
Is he James
It's
Marsden?
James Marsden, yeah. This is before he was like super famous.
Before he was James Marsden.
Yeah.
Which is still a nobody.
I love James Marsden. I love him.
That was a
He's-
joke. No, James Marsden's pretty awesome.
Which he was credited in Once Upon a Time, but I didn't see him.
Yeah, he was cut. No, actually, no. He was in the movie. He was.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
As who? Was it one of the cowboys?
No, he wasn't the cowboy. He was one of the. He was one of the. He was Steve. I think it was Steve McQueen.
No,
No,
Steve McQueen
wasn't
was
McQueen.
a different actor.
It was someone else. But he was in that group.
What, when they're at the party?
Yeah, he was
Oh.
in that group.
I didn't see him. Anyway, so him and his family move, and you find out why they moved is because his older brother killed himself. So it's kind of like a serious background, so it affected the whole family. So they show up to this new town, and there's like this group called the Blue Ribbons, and they look like they're from like the 1950s. Their outfits and everything. And then he makes friends with the outcasts at his high school, played by Nick Stahl before Nick Stahl became Nick Stahl.
Taking my joke.
Yeah, right. And Nick Stahl like says, "No, something's
Nick Stahl
wrong."
is still a nobody, by the way.
I like Nick Stahl. No, I feel like Sin City made him. Sin City made him something for a while. But anyway, so Nick Stahl like feels like no, something's going on that's happening to these students because these students used to be like drug addicts and they used to be fun. So he like tries to figure out.
'Cause drugs are fun.
I know, right?
Never
He
know.
does like weed and stuff in the movie, but so he and James Marsden and everybody and Katie Holmes. This was when she was doing Dawson's Creek, but I think she did this role because she kind of wanted to break out from being a good girl, and she kind of plays a rebel in this movie. So you see a different side of Katie Holmes. So they all try to figure out what is happening to the students in this town, and it turns out that something very wrong is happening. They're all being like programmed and brainwashed into like this weird new system. And they try to take it down. And turns out the person that helps them is played by William Sadler, who is smarter. Everyone thinks he's like the village idiot, but he's actually smart. So they all like take the guy that's behind it down, who as Bruce Greenwood, I believe. And I don't know. It's just, to me, this was like a high school version of Stepford Wives. You're trying to turn someone into something that they're not. And, you know, students always feel like teachers try to brainwash them, try to make them into something, you know, like very strict, very disciplined. You can't really be yourself, you know? So I feel like that all kind of plays into what these high school students are going through, you know? And at this time, like, this wasn't too far after Columbine.
See, this is one of those movies that actually suffered because
It did.
it was one of those movies that had to be recut and then re-edited.
Which I want to talk about. Yeah. So there's an unreleased director's cut, but due to the blockage of the studio, director David Nutter wasn't able to get it released. Once he showed the cut of the film to journalists at Fangoria magazine, the original one, they actually praised it and said it was really good. But MGM was worried because a lot of the audience members complained that there was a lot of sex, actually, I think, between Steve and Rachel. And then the ending, Gavin is supposed to die. And then they recut it even shorter, making it 95 minutes. And then they kept cutting it. So they kept showing it to people and it kept getting cut. So
This was who? Sony or MGM?
this was MGM. So they ordered, let's see. So they cut character scenes, plot points, and different scenes between the parents and the teenagers. and MGM ordered for the scenes with adults to be cut out of the film to make it more interesting to its target audience, which were young teenagers. And then this got so bad and so cut that David Nutter, the director, he actually wanted his name removed from the film. But eventually he came around and was like, no, okay, I'll have my name on the film.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Well, he's done some stuff.
What's he done lately?
I don't know, I'd have to look it up. But I just feel like to see more violence and more sex and more scenes, because after I watched this recently, there is some stuff that's kind of like, I wonder if that's the part where they cut, or because some of the things kind of don't, line up too well. But I could see now reading about it and what they had to do. I really wish I could see the original.
When this movie was coming out, you start to hear chatter like back then on the internet and stuff. And you start hearing like, oh, this movie is going to be cut, blah, blah, blah. Even on E.T. Tonight, I think, back then, they reported that this movie was going to be...
cut down.
Yeah, and so I think that's one of the reasons why I did not like this movie all that much when we bought it. I was like, man, this is not a good movie. It's kind of boring. And I am curious to see what that director's cut entails. I think that could be a very good cut.
Yeah, because it's such a cool story, and I don't know. I just feel...
people don't think, but, that had a ripple effect on a lot of movies throughout that time for a couple of years.
A lot of ones I'm talking about got affected with that whole thing.
So it's like, god damn, you can't win,
The studio's really fucked, and Wes Craven's like the only one who got away with it for Scream, because he said it was a comedy.
Yeah.
But even that did get cut too. But I mean, Scream. I mean, I was going to talk about that later, but that really showed stuff, and I wish the films that I mentioned after this had that much shown, because I feel like the audience would have loved it more. It wouldn't be as censored. Even like albums back then were censored. You had like the parental advisory stickers and.
Well, that was a long time though. That was that.
But that because rap really got famous. Like
rap was famous already.
Yeah, but I feel like 99, 98. That's when it really it was everywhere all the time, and they got affected in a lot of their stuff. No, and heavy metal did too.
I think right around the time when Biggie and Pac died, it was reaching to a point where we're starting to cross over. And then after they died, like around 97, 98, then you start seeing new artists coming out. And I think the problem is that, and no disrespect to Pac and Biggie, but Pac and Biggie took up a lot of space. They took up... They were two huge megastars. Yeah. And so a lot of other stars like Jay-Z, Nas, Wu-Tang... They couldn't shine because they had to get past their star. With their passing, you had stars like DMX, Ja Rule, Jay-Z, Nas. You had the Far Side, you had Wu-Tang, you had Common, and all those people come up at the same time, and it showed people there's a lot more other options out there than just these two. Yeah. And I think that's what made hip-hop, grow back then. I don't think it was anything else. I just think when you have, it's like WWE. When you have The Rock in Austin, there's no one else.
Well, I'm talking more about the censorship, because I grew up watching MTV and they always talked about censorship with different artists. And I feel like 98 to 2002, that's when a lot of it was so censored. And a lot of parents, you'd always see news segments and specials talking about, oh, this is what our kids are listening to. It was even on rock stuff.
Yeah, but that's always been a conversation, though. That's always been a conversation.
I'm saying after Columbine, stuff got even more censored.
That's kind of not true.
Where'd you grow up? Because where I grew up, shit was really censored.
No, because back in right around the Ronnie King getting beat down, Ice-T came out with Cop Killer. Then that conversation started. They had fucking presidential campaigns to fucking censorship rap.
Yeah, I know. But for gun violence too, even the Matrix got affected.
I know,
too.
But what I'm trying to say is that the music has always been a target. It's always been a target, even from Kiss.
Well, no, of course, but I'm just saying
Columbine had a effect on movies a lot more because it's more visual.
Right, but music videos are visual too, and I remember a lot of those were even cut, or they wouldn't even show those at certain hours. I think they waited till after 10 or midnight to show some things.
Yeah, Prodigy Smack My Bitch Up.
Prodigy was edited. Madonna's rape videos were edited. There was just a bunch.
9 Inch Nails, Closer.
9 Inch Nails, so much at that time. I feel like people really wanted to push the button. But because of everything being censored, it just got, you don't see that stuff until like afterwards or now even. So
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll continue this conversation off air.
Yeah.
All right, born our listeners, our 2 avid listeners. We love you guys. But I want to say, anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think Disturbing Behavior, it's a fun movie with a cool concept. I do wish it wasn't as edited because I think it had so much potential. But it's still a fun movie, and this had a bunch of young actors at the time who weren't super famous, and then they became famous. So it's always cool to see how they kind of started.
And now they're not famous.
Katie Holmes is.
Is she though?
Yeah, she just broke up with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
She's all over the news now, and the whole Tom Cruise thing.
Yep, that's what happens.
All right, what's your?
All right, so mine is from 2014, and it's produced by Spectre Vision. Cooties.
Oh, Spectre Vision.
Cooties. This is a story about a substitute teacher who moves back home to do substituting teaching at a summer school. Bunch of elementary kids, and this is the first day of summer school, which kind of segues nice into my theme. It's summer school, and these kids eat chicken nuggets, and all of a sudden they start losing it. And oh my god, it is the funniest fucking thing ever.
It was good. I laughed out loud so many times. LOL.
LOL. I lolled so hard.
Who was your favorite character? Mine was Lee Winnell because
The
he's
coach.
so awkward. Oh god, Rainn Wilson
Do
is the
it will.
coach.
Do it will. I always know where my do it will is. What are you saying? Do it what? Dual real wheel, dude.
When he pulls up in the truck right next to him and he's like, "Sir, wait, I can't get out." I was like, "What a dick." It's nice to see him playing a dick though. He always plays like a nerd normally.
He was
Rainn
a
Wilson.
fucking dick in the Meg.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that movie. It's so
I was
sad.
just
So
gonna make
sad,
the
right?
same joke. The
Totally
Meg?
forgot.
What
What?
movie was that? Oh yeah.
I really liked his character. He was bad. He reminded me of Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, I could see that.
I was like, I wonder if they wrote that for Woody.
I could see that.
That would have been awesome. But Rainn Wilson was just so good in that role. I love the
His
fact
outfit.
that Elijah Wood's character and the girl, they're just sitting there and they're talking.
Yeah.
And the camera's facing toward the window, and all of a sudden you just see these kids running, and they're just like ripping the principal apart.
Yeah, so vicious.
It's like, oh my god, what the fuck?
It's like 28 days later.
And then the coach is right there just shooting hoops.
Not paying
And
attention.
he's like, God damn it, I was all state. And he just does it, and then it's like, oh, what the fuck? And he's like, hey, I know karate.
Yeah.
And he's all trying to chop them and shit.
So ridiculous.
It's like flipping.
And then the crosswalk, dude. He's just in his van tripping
yeah.
balls on shrooms.
Is that the guy from Lost?
Yeah. And he's just like, whoa,
I think
dude.
I'm seeing.
He's like, hey man, I'm taking some medicine for my doctor. He's all radioing the principal. But I think the kids are eating the teacher. And the principal's all, what? This was a great find, honestly.
It's a horror comedy.
This
so
was so good.
I'm just not gonna wear these.
I,
My earphone. No, they keep falling out of my ears. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna wear them.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
They just keep falling out. Fuck it.
And so
Every time out of the corner of my eyes it falls.
Yeah.
I go to like.
No,
grab
it's-
'cause I
it's-
think it's falling.
They don't stay in. It's fine.
and I think this movie is just so fucking great. It was hilarious.
It was funny. Lee Winnell wrote it, right?
Co-wrote it, yes.
He was great. He was my favorite. As soon as you see him, he reads like how to have a normal conversation.
He all interrupts like, so how about this weather?
How's this weather? And he's like knowing everything about like bodies and like infections.
Like, what
and
do you
stuff.
teach again?
Yeah, he's so funny.
Quiet.
Quiet.
Remember?
Yeah. Ruby,
She's like,
quiet.
I am being quiet.
And no one's
I'm
talking.
not talking.
Please be quiet.
Be quiet.
He was so funny.
Yeah, he was really good. And, I really like this movie because it was just really fun.
Do you think it
What
kind
was
of?
the one with the gloves?
Oh my god, where he has like shit. He's like, oh, thank God I'm wearing gloves, and they're like, you're not. That was so gross.
So Elijah Wood's character gets scratched by one of the infected children, and they all start tripping out, and so they lock him away.
Yeah.
And Lee Winnell's character goes in and says, "Yeah, I think he's okay. He's not a carrier or whatever."
Yeah.
I guess if you've spoiler alert.
Oh yeah,
you've had
yeah.
sex,
You
gone
have
through
to puberty.
Puberty, yeah.
Yeah, so it only targets pubescent.
Had sex.
So I think he's okay. And so I was digging through his stool, and he was all
so gross.
he's good, he's fine, and everyone's just looking at his hands. It's like
They're covered in shit.
and it's like, yeah, it's a good thing I was wearing gloves. And they're like, no, you're not. It's like, you sure? Because it feels like I'm wearing gloves. Like,
So gross.
you're not. It's like, I'm gonna go wash my hands then.
So disgusting.
This was a really fun movie. I don't know why this didn't get like a limited release. Why it was
I didn't hear about
on.
it at the time.
I never
Yeah.
heard about this movie until I found it on Hulu.
Hulu.
And the poster does not make me want to watch it.
Yeah,
honestly.
I was gonna say that too.
I mean, look at this poster. This does
doesn't-
not scream.
No, it looks like a apocalypse or something. Or I don't know.
I mean, looking at that, would you in the title? Would you watch that based on that picture?
No, not really.
I mean, that
It
cast
doesn't
is
even look
really
funny.
good.
Yeah, the cast is great. All the actors in this were really good. I do think it ended kind of abruptly, though. That was my only complaint. Just kind of like ended.
I think they were trying to set up a sequel,
Mm.
but never happened.
What would the sequel be? Like,
Them going to that chicken farm and finding a cure.
see, this is why you should not eat chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
at you.
I don't eat chicken nuggets. The fuck? Oh no! There's a great
You don't?
There's a great fucking line in this movie though that had me and Miss Moise cracking the fuck up.
What?
Oh my god! So it's right around the time where the coach and Elijah Wood's character, what's his name?
I forgot.
Clint. So Clint and Wade, they're arguing about who had the better plan.
Oh.
And Wade's well, I don't want to fucking run around, hopping around like a fucking hobbit. And then
Like,
Elijah Wood's face just changes. Like,
Yeah, like really?
it's like he wants to break the fourth wall at that moment.
Totally.
I thought that line had us cracking up. I was like, oh my god, that shit's so funny.
the
Because
whole
he played
movie.
Fredo.
Yeah.
You know, a movie is good. You know where you watch a movie at home and you watch it in the theater? Sometimes just the theater experience makes it funnier, makes it, you know,
More engaging.
enhances it for some reason.
Mhm.
So you know a movie, for me anyway, I always think I know a movie is funny if I can sit in my living room
Yeah.
with no one around and watch it and I'm actually laughing while I'm on it.
Yeah,
And I
it's
don't
funny.
need that. It's like a laugh track almost. Like
Yeah.
when you hear other people laughing, you kind of laugh too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I thought it was
super,
hilarious.
super fun. I just am amazed how Elijah Wood doesn't age. Like, what moisturizer is he using? What's his diet? I wonder if he is vegan or vegetarian. He looks like one, so I'm
He
curious.
might
he
be.
probably eats a lot of chicken nuggets.
No one that eats a lot of
That
chicken
is
nuggets would
found
look like
review.
that.
I don't know if this is a segue to your next movie, but this is the second time Elijah Wood plays a character who fights monsters
Yep.
in his school.
Yes.
The first time was in The Faculty,
Which is my
1998.
thanks for taking my thunder once again. I swear to God,
You know me, I gotta do that.
man, Aries. But yes, my next pick.
Only
is
one person can shine on the show, and that's me.
He lights the microphone on fire.
I know,
Trying
right?
to top you.
It just like blows up over there.
Well,
Combustion.
Were you gonna say that?
You destroy the studio, and he's lighting the microphone on fire.
I'm just like, mm-hmm. But yes, my
Competition.
next film is The Faculty. Did you see this in theaters?
No, I saw it on DVD.
On DVD? So I saw it in theaters. It came out Christmas Day. I didn't see it Christmas Day.
Worst release date ever.
1998, December 25th, which I probably saw it in like January of 1999 or something like that. I love this movie. I think it's like a super fun sci-fi horror movie. So this is a movie that takes
This
place...
actually has a really good cast. Josh Hartnett.
It has a really good cast.
Usher Raymond.
Yeah, so this takes place in a small town in Ohio where a group of students suspect that their teachers are becoming aliens and they're infecting the rest of the staff and student body. So it's all up to this group of students to stop the aliens from spreading. So yeah, the cast is amazing. Josh Hartnett, Elijah Wood.
Who's the girl with the short hair?
Oh, Clea Duvall.
That's Clea Duvall.
Yeah, Clea Duvall. And then you had
For some reason I thought that was Cleo Savini.
Chloe Sevigny. No, she's not in this.
Yeah, I always
their names are kind of similar, but
yeah.
no. So yeah, good cast, just like a super fun movie. I didn't know this. So the script was actually written in 1990, but there were no buyers at the time. It was written 1990.
Oh.
It was written by two guys at the time. It wasn't until after the success of Scream, which came out in 1996, that Miramax bought the script and rushed it into production. Bob Weinstein and Harvey Weinstein
don't say those names.
I know. The Weinsteins, they brought in Kevin Williamson to do the rewrites, keeping the basic story, but adding like new dialogue and trying to make it more hip for the teenagers. So actually, Williamson was going to direct The Faculty, but he chose not to, so he could direct Teaching Mrs. Tingle, which is also another fun movie. And that came out in 1999. That also had Katie Holmes in it. So the Weinsteins brought in Robert Rodriguez to direct the film instead. Which is weird because this doesn't seem like a Rodriguez film.
This kind of does seem like a Rodriguez film, but the problem is they didn't let Rodriguez be Rodriguez. That's the problem. Because had this movie had his influence on it, you would have gotten a movie that was like Machete or Planet Terror or some shit like that. You would have gotten a fucking movie that was bonkers if you let Robert Rodriguez direct it the way he wanted it to.
I think it definitely would have been more gory if he had more control.
It would have been a lot more fucking fun, I'll tell you that.
I still think it's fun. I mean, I love Kevin Williamson.
Watching a Robert Rodriguez film, it's like, watching shit on steroids.
You're known so for like fun. You're gonna watch something that's like over the top.
Yeah, and I feel like, and that's one of the reasons why he got his own studio, Troublemaker Studios.
So he could do things his own way.
Yeah, and I think I honestly believe that had the studio not interfered, and let Robert Rodriguez direct this movie how he wanted to, I think this movie would have been better. But at that time, he wasn't Robert Rodriguez, which was unfortunate. So he didn't have that clout yet. Yeah,
so it's interesting, like seeing his work from then to now. Like how much it has changed. But yeah, I mean, even though I still think it worked for sure. Though this again had a very Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Stepford Wives kind of vibe to it, like disturbing behavior.
I always thought this always reminded me of Invaders from Mars.
Yeah, that too.
Remember that movie?
Yeah. And
it always felt like that to me.
And kind of like Night of the Creeps a little bit,
Our producer over there watching polite porn.
Polite porn. But yeah, like I still think this is a really fun movie. And this was actually Josh Hartnett's second feature. Do you know what his first feature was?
Dun, dun, dun. Wait, don't tell me. I think I know this. Dun, dun, dun. 1998, right?
I'm not giving you any.
No. That movie was released in 1998.
Faculty is 1998. Yeah.
So I was. Fuck! I know this.
Do 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 do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What was it?
H2O, which also came out the same year. Halloween H2O. That was his first feature.
No.
Yeah.
I have a distinct memory that the Faculty came out first.
No, Halloween H2O came out first. Came out the same year. But
that's
yeah.
bullshit. Whatever.
No, it's not.
Bullshit.
Anyways, so he also got to work with
Michael Myers is bullshit.
He also got to work with Robert Rodriguez again and Elijah Wood in Sin City. So he must have liked working.
He would have had Josh Hartnett was actually supposed to come back for the sequel.
I know.
He was actually going to have a bigger storyline.
Why didn't they go that route?
I think scheduling.
Oh, it's always scheduling.
It wasn't because he wasn't interested. Because Hartnett said he wanted to go back and play that role, which I actually liked that. I wanted to see that.
I did too.
I actually wanted to see more of that character.
I did too. I really liked him in that. But I love Josh Hartnett. I had a super crush on him at the time with his like cool, funky bowl haircut. He was really good in this movie. This is funny too. So Jon Stewart plays Professor Edward Furlong in the movie. actor Edward Furlong played John Connor in Terminator 2, which also had Robert Patrick in it, and Robert Patrick plays the coach in The Faculty. So it's kind of funny how like that all like intertwined. But yeah, so I mean, there's some good special effects in the movie. There's some good creepy scenes. The soundtrack to this movie is actually pretty good. Like they had Garbage. They They released Another Brick in the Wall at that. I think they called it like part 2 or something. But a lot of the cast members were in the music video, and that was so popular on MTV at the time. But yeah, like this is a fun movie to watch if you're into like sci-fi horror, which I am. We don't really get a lot of good ones like these, so I definitely recommend this.
Because sci-fi is bullshit.
Listen, just because you don't understand sci-fi.
Get the fuck out of here. All right, so my number 2.
Yep.
1980. No, wait, is it 1980 or 1982?
Don't fuck it up.
I want to get this right. Hold on.
Yeah, because we all know you need to get your facts straight.
1981, Night School, a.k.a. Terror Eyes.
Yeah, why'd they have so many, they had different titles back then for movies?
So Terror Eyes is the UK name.
Okay.
And that's why they called it that. So, in French, it was The Eyes of the Dread. And the Italian title was The Killer of the Night.
Killer of the Night. This movie had a very Italian feel.
This was
right.
This is a giallo film.
Totally.
This is an American giallo film. This is how you do a giallo film for real.
No side angles. No, sorry.
God.
Taking photos.
See,
no paparazzi.
This is why we don't post shit on our page. Yeah, so you roll your eyes, but you know it's true.
Because you have to have a good angle. Can't like fat angle from the side. No.
Go this way.
No, this is just not a good position to take a photo in anyway. We have like stuff in our faces and like no.
God.
Anyways, Night School. So you didn't get to check this out when Shudder released it.
I didn't see this when Shudder had it. I recently heard about this movie on Shockwaves, and I heard Eric Kane talking about this movie and said that it was really fucking good. And this fucking movie is awesome. There's a sequence in the kitchen that's just fucking insane.
Wow, yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
Like you think that, hey, it's going to be right there. Nope. Is it going to be right there? Nope. It drags on, and then like the payoff is like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. I like this movie. So this is about... So Night School is about a serial killer that goes and targets women during the night.
On a motorcycle.
In Boston. What is it with like slash giallo films in Boston for some reason?
I don't know. It's
like Pieces was like one of them too. Like they try to make it Boston, but you totally see that that's clearly Spain.
Yeah, right. I think because there's a lot of Italian and Irish. Well, there's like Italian and Irish in Boston, you know. So maybe that's why.
Maybe I don't know. But so when this film picks up, we're in the midst of a serial already. So this is like the first woman you see get killed. It is the second victim to be claimed, and there's already a detective on the case, and he is trying to find out what's going on, and then the body count rises, and he finally pinpointed the one commonality between all of them, and they all attend this very all-woman night school. And this kind of, you can say what you want about 80s slasher and how they're not progressive, but this movie's fucking progressive as fuck.
I think so too.
It's really progressive. I love that ending. That ending was just so awesome.
It is a slow burn.
I don't understand why they ended it the way they ended it though, because the detective gets in the car, and then his partner comes up with the motorcycle helmet, and he goes, ah! And then he's like, oh, you dick. And they just start laughing.
I was like,
and then the
that's
credits
what they
just
did.
roll.
Yeah, that's what they did there. Okay.
I was like, that's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
But I was like, why there? Like, you could have ended it like maybe sooner than that,
right?
But I really did like this movie. I kind of found it very surprising. It is slow.
It is a slow burner, but it makes up for it.
But it's a whodunit,
Mm-hmm.
and it knows it's a whodunit movie.
And
you know?
motorcycles and helmets are kind of creepy.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't see them. They're really like dark and mysterious. So I feel like that was a cool factor there that they did.
I thought I really enjoyed this fucking movie, and I think that this movie needs to get looked at.
So Shudder took it off because you said they put it on Blu-ray or something?
Yeah, it's on Blu-ray now. On Time Warner put it out.
Okay.
Warner Archive. Here's some trivia. Writer Ruth Avergon was inspired by an article she read about real-life headhunters of Papua New Guinea. The idea of headhunting became the basis of the film. So basically, the killer in this movie decapitates every single woman in this movie.
Yeah.
And puts their head in a body of water, whether it be a bucket, a pond, shower, or whatever. And the misdirection that they kind of lead you on is very, it's not obvious, but it's like, it's kind of refreshing though, you know? It's like, oh yeah, he fucking did it. You know he did it because he has motive. Yeah. But then when you figure out toward the end,
Spoilers.
It's like, oh, like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, I really enjoyed this movie. I think this is a movie that people should really look at though.
Definitely need to watch it again.
Best $2 I ever spent.
So so it's not streaming anywhere else, right? It's
on Prime for $2.99. So
okay.
But I do. It is definitely worth the rent though.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. Night School, 1981.
Night School.
I
like that actress too.
Yeah, this was her first movie.
Did she do anything else?
She did a couple more B movies after this, but nothing of like.
Nothing that got her like on the map.
Yeah, nothing that really put her on the map.
That's a shame.
She was really good.
Yeah.
She was really good. I really bought her act.
Me too. So that was Night School. So that's your number 2?
Yeah, it's my number 2.
All right. We all know what my last pick is because we talked about it briefly earlier, but it's Cherry Falls from 2000. This film has so many issues. Like,
Where to start?
I don't know where to begin. All right, so I'll just start with like the synopsis. So it's a slasher film that's also all mine take places in like small towns. Slasher film that takes place in a small town where a killer is murdering virgins. Town sheriff, played by Michael Biehn, has a troubled past, and he tries to protect his daughter, played by Brittany Murphy, from what is happening while all the teens in the town try to lose their virginity so they won't be killed.
Cherry poppin' party or whatever they're called.
So the premise is ridiculous, right? It's a fun, campy, you gotta have sex so you don't die. Usually you're told not to have sex and you'll live. So they flipped that. They reversed the roles on that, which is hilarious. So, okay, we've mentioned briefly before lots of issues with this movie, and it's also got back into the public eye of what actually happened. So let me tell you a couple of things because I got a lot to talk about. Because of the MPAA, the film was never given a theatrical release in the United States and was released as a TV movie on the USA Network, which is where I saw it. It actually came out on my birthday, I think. Because I remember around that time I was like, oh, cool, I get to watch like a horror movie on my birthday. So as a result, Cherry Falls is the most expensive television movie ever produced with a budget of around $14 million.
That explains why when I rented this movie, it said USA
Network, right?
Yeah.
All deleted footage was lost. However, director Jeffrey Wright insists that it still exists, stating twice in the Scream Factory Blu-ray commentary that studios never lose footage, they just misplace it. So there's hope that they're...
Yeah, you know, you gotta dig through those fucking vaults.
Right? They need to open up those vaults already. Because this was a 30-day shoot, scenes were rushed. Most were done on one take, which is actually kind of impressive to do one takes. Yeah. Like, that's really hard to do.
I mean, Brittany Murphy is a talented actress. So.
Yeah. And a lot of scenes were never filmed that were in the script, so a lot of stuff was missing. Violence was cut down, as well as the teen orgy scene at the end, which initially had an NC-17 rating. They actually showed, like, girls... like naked and like everyone like having the house at the end. So that was like really exploitive, I guess. So they had to cut that down, and now you see like they're behind white sheets. So then when you see the blood, it's just like through the white sheets. But that was supposed to be like the violence was supposed to be more intense too. So back to what I was saying about Wes Craven. Wes Craven's Scream had a similar issue with the MPAA, but told them it was a comedy, so they got away with it. Screenwriter Ken Selden wrote Cherry Falls as a satire, while director Jeffrey Wright wanted it to be more serious and horror. So I guess that's why they couldn't market it as a comedy to the MPAA, because they kind of butt heads over, because if you watch it, it is horror and it has serious tones, especially about the rape, but then also like it's teens like getting it on. So it's very like, it's one of those movies where it's like, what is happening? But I love it at the same time. But I remember seeing this on USA and I loved it. I loved like Brittany Murphy. I loved her from Clueless, and then to see her like look kind of gothic at the time, like with her hair and everything, the outfits, the fashion was cool, the storyline was interesting, and the background of like the high school and the rape and like the killer, like that was all really interesting and different at the time. But knowing now all the issues they had, what was cut, what was lost or misplaced or never done, it's like, man, this really could have been like probably one of the greatest slashers if it got its original way, you know. But I mean, it did have a comeback. Like a lot of people do like it, and it got released on Scream Factory Blu-ray. So
just recently too.
Yeah, so it does have its following now, but a lot of people diss it because they don't think it was violent
really
enough,
good.
or which is a shame, you know.
You know, it was one of those movies that I thought it was really weird when I even saw it. I was
Yeah,
like, it is a weird fucking movie.
it is. It's
It is
different.
weird. I'm like, and then the whole relationship between the dad and his daughter. It was just
Yeah.
like, okay, there's something there. But
Yeah.
is there supposed to be something that we're supposed to like know, or is it just direction that he gave the actors to play it this way?
That's what I'm wondering, because the only weird part between them is when he's
Is in the bedroom.
Well, it's when he's also teaching her self-defense, and then he lands on top of her and like stays on her for a minute, and then he gets called in to the sheriff's office. That part was a little. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
When he's teaching her self-defense, and then he's like, "You got to jump here," and then he like lands on top of her, and it's like like staring at each other. But no, the bedroom scene, he's asking her if she's a virgin because he needs to know because the killer is killing virgins. So that's why that scene's a little, the dialogue is a little weird in that scene.
No, just the whole thing is weird.
See, that could have been just a directional thing.
You know,
It
it's
could have
like,
been.
is there something darker there? Like he's like, you know.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's
you could read into what
you
you
know,
want, I guess.
I don't remember where I heard this. I might have made this up, but I always heard that he was supposed to be the killer.
Michael Biehn?
Yeah, the dad was supposed to be the killer.
I don't remember hearing that at all.
I'm gonna have to. I don't remember where I heard that, or if it was just something I fabricated, but I'm pretty sure like there was a twist at the end where it was someone else that was a different killer.
Could have been. I don't remember hearing that though. That's interesting. But it is interesting who the killer is. I don't want to give any spoilers, but you know, that whole storyline in itself is actually pretty heavy and serious.
I kind of wish that this movie was a little bit better.
Well, but you have to take into consideration being on USA and having, you know, that kind of content at the time. Because again, the violence that was happening in real life, this movie also got affected.
Okay, so here's some couple of trivias from Michael Biehn. Initially wasn't interested in the movie because after reading 15 pages of the script, he thought it was just another slasher.
Yeah.
His agent convinced him to keep reading, Biehn liked the satirical approach to the genre and decided to do the movie. So see, even he was under the impression that this was supposed to be a satire
Which
on
is
the
what
genre.
the writer wrote it as a satire. Yeah. But the director wanted it to be more dark and horror. So that's why it kind of clashes.
Stephen Lang was actually supposed to be the sheriff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He later admitted the only reason he wanted to do the part was to work with Brittany Murphy again. I guess they worked together before.
And at that time, I remember Brittany Murphy was interested in Black Swan was being spoken about at that time. And she really wanted to do Black Swan. She wanted like darker roles and more challenging roles.
She wanted to do that movie.
And she was good. Like she was a good scream queen in this film.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I don't see Brittany Murphy as that character though.
As Black Swan.
Yeah.
She really wanted it though.
I you know, for some reason I think Natalie Portman just something about her just embodied that role a little bit better in my opinion.
It's interesting though if she would have played it though. I wonder what kind of take that
would
have
have
been.
it would have been a different for sure.
Natalie Portman kind of has a fierceness, almost like an inner toughness.
Does she though?
She seems, it seems like she's a little, I don't know, like something comes out.
Brittany Murphy has like that innocent deer,
she's
like a deer
girl
in the
next door kind of
headlights.
feeling
Yeah.
to her, and I don't think Natalie Portman comes across as kind of girl next door.
No. But yeah, I mean, so I still think it's a fun movie. It's on Stars. If you have Stars, it's not streaming anywhere. So this is a hard movie to find. I mean, like I said, Scream Factory released a Blu-ray so you could get it on that, which I still need to get. I don't have that yet. But I think this is a fun movie. It's definitely different. It's not your average high school slasher, but I think it's a lot of, for what they had to cut. I still think it's a fun movie.
Yeah, I think this movie definitely deserves a rewatch from me because it's been years since I've seen it. I saw this movie when it first came out, and I rented it, and I was like, oh, okay, Brittany Murphy. And I knew her from Clueless, and so I was like, oh, let's see what this is. I'm like, what is this? But yeah, no, I think this movie. I don't know if this movie has aged very well, so that's gonna be the interesting thing.
Definitely has that like cyberpunk kind of feel, like especially like with the fashion and stuff.
Yeah,
which I am a fan of, but yeah, nobody really like dresses like that cool anymore. It's a shame. I wish they did.
Yeah,
I don't dress like a cyberpunk. I used to, but yeah. I don't know.
I was saying you dress cool.
Oh, thanks.
You're just a punk.
Yeah, you just a punk ass bitch.
Bitch. But that's it. Cherry Falls from what, 1998?
2000.
2000. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine actually goes. So I go summer school to night school to the first day of school, and this was actually kind of a tough one. Actually,
I don't know what this one is. I'm curious.
This is a real tough one because I watched two movies that had dealt with this the first day of school.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where I'm going to go with this.
Okay, we'll go with it. Just do.
So I think I'll go with the one that I like the most then. A little bit more. All Cheerleaders Die.
Oh, I still need to see this.
Directed by Lucky McGee, and it was released in 2014. Right? Yeah.
I think so. And that's on Shudder, right?
That's on Shudder right now.
Okay.
Directed by Lucky McGee and Chris Stevenson.
Two directors?
Yeah.
Interesting.
They did a short film on the same movie.
Okay.
So this is based on a short film that they did early on in their careers. Let's see if I can find it really quick.
Is that before he did May? The short?
No, this... God damn it. Why can't I spell cheerleaders?
Come on, where's your school spirit?
You have no school spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, 2013. And May was 2012, I think.
No, May was like early 2000s, like 2000.
2002.
Yeah. So the short was after May?
No, it was actually right before that.
Oh, interesting. So he went back. Huh.
So, all cheerleaders die. I always thought this was called All Cheerleaders Must Die.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Again, another thing of the Mandela effect. Yeah, Mandela effect. And, okay, so this tells a story about a outcast girl who is friends with the popular cheerleader. And she is doing a profile on her friend for one of her courses. Her friend dies in a hilariously bad accident. So she does a stunt, and these two dudes are supposed to catch her. Mm-hmm. They toss her up. She flips, and she fucking lands on her head, and you see her head go into her body.
Oh my god. Do they actually show that?
Yeah, they show it.
Oh
you see the head just like disappear going into her body. Like, oh, fuck.
Jesus.
And you just hearing the snap, and everyone's just like, oh, shit. It is pretty crazy. And fast forward 5 months later, i.e. summer break, first day of summer school, first day of senior year. And her friend, or the friend that was a friend to the cheerleader, is devising a plan to ruin the jock's life that was going out with her because of something happened. And her best friend started dating, the dead girl's boyfriend. All of a sudden, it's
Okay.
like, oh shit. And so you start to see that this one friend, what's her name? Taylor. That's our lead. And she has a friend called. Fuck, what's her name? Well, she's a witch. Let's just put it that way.
A witch?
She's a witch.
Well, she's a witch.
She's a witch. She's an actual fucking witch.
Like for real?
Like for real. And so there's like a nice little foreshadowing because she got a cat. This witch got a cat.
Is it a black cat?
No, it's it looks like Panda.
Oh,
And
black and white.
Black and white loaf of bread.
yeah, and so
Stale loaf.
she said, "I got this cat and I named it Taylor, and the cat died.
Oh my god.
But the cat came back to life." And she's trying to tell Taylor this, and Taylor's all, "Are you fucking serious? Get the fuck out of here! I don't fucking care." And so she's all, "Oh shit!" And then so that's supposed to be like foreshadowing or
Yeah.
whatever. And so all the cheerleaders are going to this. They go to this party, and then the high school jock shows up. The star shows up, and then they start, bickering, blah, blah, blah. They get into a fight. The jock hits the cheerleader right in the fucking face.
Whoa, abuse.
And they all get out. They get in the car and they start driving. And then the jocks get in their car and they start chasing them. And they chase them off the fucking road. And they
Jeez.
crash in the ravine. And then he fucking drowned. The witch is like in the car.
Wait, so they're all in the car together?
Yeah, the witch is like parked somewhere else.
Okay.
But she sees them driving.
Mm-hmm.
And she sees both cars driving past her. And it's like, what the fuck?
Wow.
And she sees the accident happen. And the only reason she goes down there is because she's in love with Taylor.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be like they have a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But over the summer, the relationship deteriorated.
Hmm.
And then Taylor becomes a cheerleader. So she kind of casts her friend aside. Or her ex-girlfriend aside.
Hmm.
She goes down there, and then she saves them all, and she saves all of them, and she has these stones, she tosses them, and then she harnesses the power of the moon, and she's like screaming, ah! And brings them all back to life. The stones go into the people, so they have like injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So like someone had like a brain injury, the stone will go into their ear. The other one had a back injury, go to the back, etc., etc.
Magic stones.
And so she fucks up and she
Oh.
switches two of this, like, because two of them are sisters.
Mm-hmm.
She switches them, and so they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm this person," and the other person's like, "Oh my god,
Like
I'm
a Freaky
you."
Friday kind of
Yeah.
thing? Okay.
And so that was a really funny moment. And then these girls wake up and it's like, I just had a bad fucking dream. It's like, oh yeah, you guys are dead.
Ah,
like, what the fuck you mean we're dead? Like, yeah, you're dead.
wow.
One of them walks off. She's like half naked and she
Mhm.
goes across the street. And they're all like fatigued and tired and
Mhm.
whatever. One of the girls goes across the street and she says, I'm hungry. She's drinking milk and she throws it all up. She can't
Ew.
drink that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then she, like, the old dude that's sitting there is like, can I help you? Like, do you need help? And then she's like, I'm hungry. You got anything to eat? And then she fucking mauls on him.
Oh, so they're like zombies, kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
So she starts mauling on him. And then she's like, I feel much better.
Eh.
And then all of them feel it. They're like, oh, they
Oh,
start
like it gives
feeling
them
it.
healthy powers or something.
And so they all go across the street and they start feeding on this fucking dude. And they just suck the life out of him. And then you
Jeez.
just see, like, this dude just all dry and old and shit. And then the girl just jumps up like, okay, let's go back to school. It's like, and she's the witch is no one's taking you to school. Everyone needs to calm the fuck down. It's like, you must be thinking, you must be a bitch if you thinking I'm going to miss the first day of school. No. So someone needs to take me to school right now. And so they go to school, and then the jocks are all like, look, dude, it's fine. Don't worry about it. They're not going to find the bodies. They're cool. You know, there's a bunch of freshmen out there. Go get those. You know what I mean? Like, get those puppies, dogs, you know? And these chicks come in, they start walking, and everyone's like, oh, shit, they're still alive? And then, like, one of them is a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has sex. in the bathroom in a handicap stall.
Oh, what if someone has to use it? No,
Which
no one ever.
someone actually had to use it.
Oh no way!
There's a handicapped person in there.
Oh my god!
And he's all pounding on the door, and he's like, "I'm sorry, dude." So you're an asshole, bro.
That's like the Larry David skit. Oh my god! It's so
And
funny.
then, so she's having sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of them can feel it.
Oh, that's weird.
And so they're all doing separate things,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden they start feeling like they start moaning,
Oh my
and
god.
one of them gets in a doggy position, and she's like and everyone's just filming this.
They only feel sex. But
No, they feel everything.
Everything.
Everything, not just sex. They feel everything. They even feel so. Even like 2 minutes after that one person had sex, another person at the same time was feeding on someone else, and they all felt that too.
Okay.
And so the witch is all, and so Taylor finds the witch is like, "What the fuck just happened?" Is all someone got fucked and someone got killed. So she slams the locker door and says, "No one feeds at school."
Oh, it's a good rule to have.
5 minutes later, that rule is fucking broken.
Of course.
One of them gets jealous because the person that had so someone has sex with someone they're not supposed to have sex with.
Mm-hmm.
One of the girls gets jealous. She kills that dude because she's like, "How could you have sex with my sister?" She's like, "I did, and I had sex with you."
Oh, because
They're switched.
they're still switched,
and they're
okay.
like, "No, you had sex with my sister." It's like, "No."
Are they
I
twins?
didn't." No, they couldn't be far apart.
Oh my god.
Well, she is short and she is tall.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's just very funny. And then she feeds on them, and then again they're all in class, and they're like, and then when they feed, their stones glow.
Oh, and no one like suspects anything, like the teachers.
The fucking jock sees this,
Oh.
reports back to the star,
Mhm.
and says, "Yeah,
All cheerleaders must
we
die.
need to do this." So they break into the witch's thing, the locker. They steal their stones,
Mhm.
and then.
Well, don't tell me the ending because I do want to watch it.
Oh my god! Have I not? I don't know if I sold this, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this movie is fucking hilarious. It is very good.
So is it more of like a horror comedy then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It is. Honestly, I think this is the much better version of Jennifer's Body.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a much better version because.
And those came out not too far like apart
No,
from
this
each
came
other.
out like 5 years after. Jennifer's Body came out like in 07, 08.
I thought it was not till like 2010.
Nah, because she did this right after Transformers.
Really?
She did that right after Transformers. Because I was still in high school when that movie came out.
I was in college, and I'm younger than your ass. So
I remember this movie coming out in high school.
Jennifer's bought no.
Let's see, what's
I was in college.
what year was
2009.
it? 2009.
Yeah.
04. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, yeah. So I
Or you think
was.
Transformers came out in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
what?
That's just what I feel. And so this is a better. I feel like they had a better understanding of who these girls were.
Yeah. Is it more violent than
it's not-
Jennifer's Body?
It's over the top violent, but
Okay.
there's a scene toward the end where the violence it gets really real,
Mhm.
and then there's a incident that happens that triggers this movie.
Okay.
That's like, holy shit! Like, seriously?
I feel like he goes for it, and that's why I love him as a director.
Yeah, I think Lucky McGee is really good.
And he always does like outcast characters too, or like weird situations.
in this one he actually had an outcast infiltrate the popular crowd, which
Which
was
is
really
cool.
good.
That's a cool.
I highly
concept.
recommend this movie. This movie is really fun. I think the my knock is that much like Hoodies, they fucking did way too much to set up a potential sequel.
Oh, really?
Which never came to pass and never will because it's too far now.
It's too far now.
Which sucks.
I kind of hate when they do that because then you're like expecting it, but then it's not.
It doesn't come
It's
true.
not always guaranteed.
It's like rock and rolla. It's like, oh yeah, stay tuned. Archie
God.
and all them, from the real rock and rolla. Like, nope, that's not coming.
Nope.
So, Yeah, I mean I think that's my biggest complaint is that they set you up for a sequel.
Yeah.
That will never happen.
Never sees the light of day. That's a shame.
That sucks. I'm pissed. I'm like,
Yeah.
I would rather honestly, if this was a short film, like if they did a sequel as a short film, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
But I don't see them doing
You don't
this.
see that happening.
I don't see it happening. I think Lucky McGee is just like, he's over it.
He's moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All Cheerleaders Die is a really good movie. Had we done 5, I would have gone a step further and gone with Prom Night.
But that's prom.
No. Wait. But I would have gone with Prom Night and then Jennifer's Body. Because then it would have gone through the whole full school year.
And those are both prom.
No, Jennifer's Body is our last day of school.
Oh, I thought it was prom.
It's prom, but at the end, but the whole movie takes place as a whole thing.
See, because I really wanted to do Jawbreaker, but that's not horror. But that's a fucking amazing movie. I don't know if you've
That is
seen
a really
it.
good
That is
movie.
like one of my favorite movies.
Marilyn Manson bangs Rose McGowan in that.
And Rose McGowan is amazing in it. Yeah, she's so good in it. But yeah, like I really was like, I don't know, I want to do Jawbreaker, but it's not horror. It's horrible what happens in it, but it's not technically horror. So another one I wanted to talk about was Cry Wolf because nobody talks about that movie. And I just rewatched it recently, and it is such a cool premise. It is a twist.
Garbage.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, then fuck you. You can't say anything. The premise is really interesting.
I know it's like supposed to be like a game though, right?
Yeah, it's a game where they invent a serial killer urban legend on campus. But at the end, it's like, oh shit. Like, I mean, if you're really good at predicting things, you'll know what's coming. But
I don't like predicting things.
Well, I don't either. But
especially in the movies. Like I hate doing that shit because then you actually try to outsmart the filmmaker,
and you don't enjoy like the moments that are
Sometimes
happening.
You can't help it, though.
I know
Sometimes
it's
you're
hard.
watching stuff and you're like,
It's
I know
hard.
what that means. What's
Especially-
coming next?
Especially if it's a game. Like if it's a game kind of setup, you're like, oh, you're always trying to be like a step ahead. But I don't think that movie gets. No one really talks about that movie, and that is a horror movie. So
it's a horrible movie. Yes,
you didn't
you're
even
right.
see it. You didn't even see it. But
No,
yeah.
I think not a movie that I'm interested in though. It had a really cool fucking poster though. I will say that.
Yeah,
with the dude
the-
with the ski mask and the big ass knife.
The orange ski mask, the camo jacket, and the knife. I don't know. I just thought the premise and the campus was beautiful. It feels like Halloween. It takes place during Halloween time, so you feel like you're on like a cool high school campus with trees and stuff on like the East Coast. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like you should give it a go. Just watch it.
Yeah, we'll see. Sounds like garbage though.
Oh my god.
Garbage. Yeah, fucking garbage. Your whole list was garbage.
Anyways, my list
My
was
list,
amazing
as
and
usual,
fun.
was great. As usual, always
Yours
great.
weren't always like yours are more comedy though.
No,
the only
they're not.
Night School is the only like non-comedy one.
Bitch, you didn't even see all 3 of these movies. Fuck out of here.
I've seen Night School. I've seen Cooties. I have not seen All Cheerleaders Die, and I do want to watch it though because I love Lucky. I really like his work.
You know what? My movies are fire. Fucking fire.
As a recap, mine were Disturbing Behavior, The Faculty, and Cherry Falls.
Mine were Cooties, Night School, and All Cheerleaders Must Die.
Or is it All Cheerleaders Die?
All Cheerleaders Die. All Cheerleaders Must Die. That should be the sequel.
I totally thought that was the title too. Yeah.
I thought that was, but yeah, that's our list, and that's our back to school episode. Next week, we'll be hitting you with a bonus episode and our review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I know a couple people have been waiting to hear our thoughts on that movie, so.
Who?
Me, bitch. Try to bury us on air? The fuck is wrong with you?
You just love the sound of your own
I was
voice.
just gonna make that. You just love
Goddamn
hear
right.
yourself talk.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to hear me talk about that movie.
I can't wait to laugh at what I say.
My jokes are fire. Fuck you guys. All right.
Fire.
For your host, I'm the boogeyman, Johnny Zuko.
You gotta do a laugh.
No, I'm not going to do it on that. No.
You gotta show your school spirit.
I ain't got no school spirit.
And I'm Ginger Snap. Ow, ow, ow.
Oh, 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 oh.
You need to put some fucking balls in that shit. The fuck's wrong with you?
Well, I don't got
Or put your
cojones.
ovaries into it then. I don't care. Whatever. Put your fucking gut into it. Come on.
I want to do a deep growl, but you won't let me. You won't let
No,
me.
Why
not
does
that
he
I.
get to say? Shut up.
Yeah, shut up over there. Shut the hell up. Think you're a school mascot all of a sudden, thinking you can be better than everybody?
I am better than everybody. What the fuck are you talking about? Look at my wall.
If you were a school mascot, you'd be like a fire shape that like explodes and combusts, and then like no one would miss it, and everyone would be like, "Oh, okay, next."
See, now you're starting to sound like those popular assholes.
I'm just kidding.
Look at you, huh?
Hey, we do not want to.
It's funny how you make a 180 all of a sudden.
We don't want to talk about those people.
All the cheerleaders must die.
Yeah.
Shit. All right.
Shit.
Yeah, well, do your growl and shut the fuck up. Come on.
Who said anything?
You.
Just you. All I hear is you flapping those lips over there.
God. All right. Well, I'm out of here.
Bye. Stay scary. Bye.